Hey guys, Ty here. Sorry about the bad quality. So a lot of you guys know that I'm in auto tech class. If you follow me at Dreamers at Arms underscore in between each word. Uh, if you follow me on there, you'll know that I'm in auto tech. If not, you probably know me by Facebook or you've seen a couple of videos on my YouTube channel before. Now, recently I got into a conversation with a family member about different types of octane levels on a vehicle. This actually came up last semester. Right now is January the 13th. I'm in second semester of school currently. Just started up a few days ago, actually. But at the end of last semester, in December, we started getting into octane levels and what these do. Now, octane levels are decided by, well, the explosion timing, pretty much. An 87 octane will actually ignite faster and before a 93 octane. Well, that's why it's actually recommended on a lot of vehicles to do an 87 because they're not built normally for a 93. Now, always check with the manuals in your car. Do not go by one certain source. You want to actually research. You want to go by the manuals in the car. If it does not come with a manual, you need to ask someone that knows more about the vehicle, such as someone at the dealership, somebody that is a professional mechanic, something like that. Somebody that can find the information easily for you. Now, here's the thing. This family member had told me a lot of the vehicles now coming out are premium fuels. And everybody just runs them 97 octane because nobody's going to pay for premium. Now, while at first I didn't want to argue with it, I also didn't want to research anything because I was working on a few things for school and for work. But now I've actually done research on it, and that's not exactly true. I looked up, our vehicles have been, we have an '03 vehicle that's a Chevy. I looked up most of the Chevy vehicles in '03. I looked up '07 and '08, which at the time, my father's vehicle was a '08, which now he traded it in for a 15 model Tundra. But my mom's got an '07, my dad's got a 15 now. I've got a '99. As you guys have seen in videos before as well. If you have not, go on and check out my channel. I might be creating a different one for when I'm actually in the military. I'll post up builds on my vehicle there. That'll come out later on, hopefully. Anyways, I went online. I searched all these vehicles of Toyota, which we have Chevy, Ford, Dodge, which in Dodge is Jeep, and in Chevy is the GMC, because they're basically the same vehicles if you look at them, right? The Yukons is the same as the Tahoes, and Jeeps just run by the same stuff as a Dodge, which is why there is such a thing as a Jeep Cummings. If you go look it up, there is such a vehicle. But they're both owned by Chrysler as well. Chrysler is more high-end. It's more of the poor man's rich car, baller car, however you want to call it. Anyways, getting off track, I went and looked up these vehicles in '07, '08, 15, and 18. I wanted to look at their gas types, looked at traditional vehicles. For example, for Ford, it was the F-150, not F-100, that's way old. F-150, the Raptor F-150. What else did I look at? I didn't look at the Mustang because I already knew that's probably premium. Didn't bother with that. I believe there was a Taurus there. Yeah, there was a Taurus. On the Chevy, I looked at the Impala. I looked at the Silverado. And Dodge, I looked at a few of their unleaded trucks. The Jeeps, of course, I looked at Jeeps. And then Toyota, I looked at the Camry, Corolla, Sienna, Tundra, and Tacoma, as well as a 4Runner. Now, all of these vehicles showed as an 87 octane, which means, no, that was false about the premium fuel. Not every vehicle runs by premium fuel. Now, thing about the octane levels, here's why you don't want to put a higher octane in your vehicle unless you either build it or it's already built up to that level. Like Mercedes-Benz, my first vehicle was a Mercedes-Benz C280, 2000 model. Couldn't get it street legal, so I ended up selling it off. But that was recommended to be running at a 93 octane, which is a premium fuel. I had it running at an 87, which I didn't know was bad at that time. We just figured it was cheaper fuel. We didn't know. Now I know better. But thing is, the traditional engine has 4 strokes in it. Basically, you got to rotate the drive shaft, not drive shaft, the camshaft. You have to, basically the whole shaft system, you have to move twice over 360 degrees, which is 720 degrees, if I got that math right. Do not quote me. But you basically have to move it about that far. Now, with the 4-stroke engine, there is intake, which is where the fuel and the air will go into the piston area. Then it has compression, which is it's compacting everything. Ignition, explosion, which is when it blows it back and moves everything. And then exhaust, which is when every other piston is basically pushing it back. Same with every stroke except for the combustion. But it pushes back and lets go of exhaust, then it redoes the cycle. Now, the octane levels do have to do with your timing on that as well. If you, for example, have an 87, it's supposed to normally be like this. Now, 93, you could be about here, and then boom, it hits it back, comes back, and then another piston pushes it back. So you're not going to get a full compression or anything. And then with a 93 octane engine using a 87 octane, basically you're burning the fuel. The fuel will burn faster than the engine can keep up, and with an 87 octane using the 93, the 93 will burn slower than what the vehicle needs it to. Now, there have been several things in the past, including by Top Gear, of what would happen, say, if you put a diesel fuel, which is one of the highest octane levels you can buy easily in the United States and in several other countries. What happens if you put that in an unleaded vehicle, and then what happens if you put an unleaded gas in a diesel vehicle? Now, all these octane levels will have to do with each other pretty much. Basically, when they tested it and they put the diesel into the unleaded fuel, it just ruined the engine. There was no point of it starting back up. I think they did manage to get it back up, but the engine was ruined at that point. It's got too high of an octane level, just ruined the timing and everything. And then when they put an 87 regular octane into a diesel engine, it sort of acted like jet fuel to it. It did speed up the motor a bit, but then it damaged it in a few miles. It wasn't the greatest thing to have happen, and that will happen to your vehicle. Which is why I'm saying go to a mechanic, go to a maintenance person. Now, always do it by your car's design. There are car modders out there that they know what they're doing. They'll put the higher octane in there. You'll even put racing fuel in there. I've gone to church with people that build up Corvettes, and they'll put racing fuel that they'll drive a few towns over in the middle of nowhere just to go get, because that's where they can find it. It's near a drag strip. But then they'd go out there with a truck, and then they'd bring back fuel for them. And that's how things were. And then you've got some bikes that use higher octanes because that's what they need to use. I think the Kawasaki Ninja, I think that uses a higher octane. But then you have something like the Kawasaki Z125 Pro and the Honda Grom, which are basically the same bike made by two different companies in two different styles. The Grom's more of a dirt bike and a trick bike of sorts. The Kawasaki's more of a sport bike / dirt bike. You can use it on dirt. It's not so good on dirt as it is a sport bike. Anyways, and they use normal 87 octane. I've already checked on those, but I think the Ninja uses 893 full stock. Now, basically the moral is put the right fuel in your car, make sure with it before you do so. This is Ty Busby. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and please learn about this stuff. Might not always be there to help you. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe below. Again, this is Ty Busby signing off.